Thank you so much for your insight and words. We are now at our final speaker for this morning's opening session, so it is my pleasure to introduce to you His Excellency Ajay Banga, President of the World Bank Group. Thank you.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am very conscious of the fact that I'm between you and the chance to get a break, so I'm going to try and keep it quick and short for you. A number of the countries and private sector players and civil society here are partners of ours. And so, Madam President, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to be a part of this group with you. I think the Global Gateway is the right thing at the right time. And let me tell you why. There is a confluence right now of ambition and arithmetic. 1.2 billion young people in the emerging markets will become ready for a job in the coming 15 years. The same emerging markets are currently forecasted to produce 400 million jobs for them. Those estimates could be wrong because they're made by economists like us. But they will not be wrong by 800 million. If you want to do something about the future of our world, because that generation is the power of our future. They will drive markets, they will drive consumption, they will drive growth for the Western world, they will drive the opportunity for our companies, for our technology, for our intellectual property. For the countries there, they will drive prosperity and quality of life for their citizens. This is what every politician promises to their citizens: quality of life and jobs. 800 million people may not have that opportunity. It is really important for all of society to think about those like the Prime Minister of Grenada just said. My view is that to create jobs for them, we cannot do it the way Ursula said, only with government money, only with multilateral bank money. We have to get the capital, the ingenuity, the innovation, the technology, the urgency of the private sector to come to play at the table. To do that well requires partnership. To do partnership well requires us to all understand we can't do it alone. And so what I'm saying for the World Bank Group, what we've been doing, is very clearly in the job space, two sets of thinking. The first one is, how do you create jobs and growth in an economy? First, you must have infrastructure, not just physical, bridges, roads, airports, electricity, digitization, but human capital, skilled and educated and healthy. Second, you must have the environment in that country for businesses to prosper. Rules, regulations, ways of operating and governance. And third, you need the catalytic capital for the private sector. Our institution, like many others like us, the EBRD is here, others are here, EIB, we have the ability to provide all parts of that puzzle. IBRD and IDA, a number of my friends here in the governments know, we provide work on the infrastructure, both physical and human. Our Knowledge Bank provides the capacity for those rules, but we also provide performance-based financing for those rules to be implemented. And then finally, IFC and WIGA provide the catalytic capital. That's one set of things. The second set is, we cannot keep creating jobs in the emerging markets, which essentially look to outsource jobs from the Western world to provide for this capacity. That model will not continue to work. There is a political challenge in the developed world around that model. And therefore, you have to find sectors that are locally relevant jobs for those countries. What are those? Infrastructure, its construction, and then what it enables. Second, agriculture for small farmers. Very important, very critical for their productivity and to stay doing what they're doing on a farm. Third, primary healthcare and its delivery. Fourth, tourism. And fifth, value-added manufacturing of the type you heard from many here, including minerals and metals. A lot of what the World Bank Group is announcing for the last 2 years are exactly in these spaces. 300 million people in Africa to be connected to productive baseload power, not just one light and one fan, but the ability to be productive. Affordable baseload energy. Second, 1.5 billion people to be connected to primary health care. Think of the jobs for nurses, medical diagnostic technicians, and midwives that we can create. Third, focus on agriculture. We're going to put $9 billion a year into agriculture. It's the focus of our annual meeting next week, along with $5 billion of private capital mobilization. This is our route, and this is the partnership that I'm so proud to be participating in with the European Union. We are going to function with 18 such projects across the developing world, in Africa, in Latin America, and in Asia, focused on energy, focused on transport, focused on digitization. Partnership. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much indeed, and thank you to all our wonderful leaders and speakers this morning. We have all been inspired by the speeches today, but we've heard more than speeches. I hope today will be remembered as a historic moment where the hand of friendship and partnership has been extended, a moment where the positive agenda of interdependency, integration and mutual respect came out stronger than tensions and strife. Now, of course, the forum is not over, and this afternoon and tomorrow we will see signing ceremonies as well as networking and bilateral meetings as well as panel discussions on the stage. However, I would ask now, as we allow our leaders and those seated in the first two rows to leave, for everybody else to kindly remain seated. I have more information for you in a moment regarding lunch, but please, a round of applause for our dear leaders as they leave the room.